It's the choice of the celebrated dancer and choreographer Bill T. Jones. His winter song comes from Winterreise, Winter Journey by Franz Schubert, the song cycle about a solitary traveler in a savage winter whose heart is frozen in grief.
Drüben hinterm Dorfe steht ein Leiermann und mit starren Fingern dreht was.
And this bleak landscape takes me back to a day when I was in 4th grade, out on the edge of town, looking out on a snow-covered highway, many yards away from my window. I should have been paying attention when I was dreaming. And then I saw a lone figure walking across that on a very, very cold day. And you know how it is when the wind blows and you have to turn your back against the wind?
Oh, yeah.
And I felt so sorry for that person, and then I realized that person was my father. That my father, who was completely out of work, had been the director of his own business as a contractor in the heyday of the migrant stream back in the late 50s, but now that business had died. He was up in the chilly north with his family, broke and sick, and he had to get to this very insignificant job in a factory miles and miles away. A black man with no car, trying to hitchhike, and no one picking him up, and he has to walk that 10 miles to get to the factory. And I'm sitting in this warm classroom, getting educated, not paying attention to the teacher, and suddenly feeling torn between two worlds. And this music, when I hear it,
Und lässt es gehen, alles wie es will.
I feel for my father, and there's something about art that can be, yes, depressing, but helps us bear the pain through just sheer beauty and intensity.
Und mit starren Fingern dreht was kann.
I'm imagining that your impulse would have been to run out of that classroom and get your dad inside.
No, it was more complicated than that because that was my job to be in school. One of the reasons I was in school was so that I did not have to be out there with him. And that was the painful thing about this sort of class climbing that we all in this country are subjected to. We're supposed to do better than our parents. And did I want the whole class to say, look out there, there's my father, impoverished, freezing, walking by the road? It was a very strange moment, Melissa, very strange. I was, in a way, paralyzed, doing what I should do and not knowing what I wanted to do.
No one is listening to him, not even the dogs.
However, the narrator is listening, and has he so much disappeared that he is no one? Ah, yes. The young man is doomed, but it's sweet, it's haunting, it's delicious, almost like freezing to death. When we freeze to death, we go to sleep. And this is at the end of that cycle, and I imagine that's what Schubert was trying to suggest. It's beautiful and painful, which is what I want from art.